I'm going to talk about staying humble and staying grounded in your recovery. When you start to build time in recovery and you are interacting with people who have less time and you're sharing advice that worked for you, people, I've seen it over the years, will get a big head. Like they are better than other people. Okay? And it is so extremely important to remember where you came from every day. And I think I'm very lucky to be in the shoes that I'm in, because when I speak with people daily, I mean, this is 365 days a year. I can't remember the last time I took a day off and didn't talk to at least, 5 or 6 people in a day. I get to relive my early days every single day. So when that topic or that saying of keeping yourself green, keeping your mind green, remembering where you came from, remember where it all started and how things were bad, I have the ability to do that every single day. So it helps me tremendously to be able to do what I do for other people. It also helps me. Okay? Now, I've seen over the years, I've talked with people over the years who will have clean time, a lot of clean time, and they'll contact me and we'll talk and we'll interact, and I can hear almost like a not conceited but an overly confident vibe from some of these people, and it bothers me, because one of the lessons I learned early on when my pop-up and my dad, we used to go to meetings, the three of us, and it's really cool because it's 3 generations going to a meeting. And I'll never forget, my pop-up, he passed away. He had Alzheimer's disease. And he would go in and out. Towards the end, he didn't know who I was. But he was kind of with it when we were going to meetings. But he'd have his days where, he wasn't all there. But I'll never forget, we were at a meeting, my father and him and myself. And I was joking with him. I'm like, you have like over 40 years sober. I'm like, it's crazy. And he straight face looked me in the eye and he said, it doesn't matter how much time you have. Everyone in here has 24. And that is exactly the way everybody in recovery should carry themselves. Because I get asked all the time, do you feel like you have this kicked? Do you have any urges? I don't have urges, okay? I live this life every single day. I work recovery every day. I keep my mind green every day. I go back to my beginning. So it makes it easier for me to stay separated from, actual use. I mean, I'm not around drugs. I'm not in any shape or form in that capacity. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, that realm of use is not anywhere near me. Okay? So I don't have any ways of, running into people. It's been 7 years. It's like all that whole lifestyle, that whole old Ryan is way gone. And a lot of the people that I used to run around with are either clean, moved away, or they passed away. Okay? So my area, my generation of use, the people there are they're gone. So I don't want to say I got it kicked, because you can never say that. All right. One thing can lead to another. You never know. Some tragedy, something major can happen in your life, and next thing you know, you're doing stupid shit again. All right. So that's why it's so important to stay vigilant and never think you're bigger than recovery. Never think that never think that you're above it, because I've heard so many people throughout the years who decide to act like they never had a problem, just close the doors to that life like it never happened, and eventually it catches up to them. I can't tell you why that happens, but I've seen it time and time again where people will contact me years later and be like, I closed the door on that lifestyle. I mean, I stopped talking to you. I mean, I just tried to forget it even happened, and it just somehow, some way, crept back in and grabbed them. It sunk its freaking teeth in them and took them back into that lifestyle, because they didn't work whatever program they were doing. They weren't living the lifestyle and keeping it it's almost like you have to like stay in shape, recovery shape, because as soon as you get out of recovery shape, you can fall back into that life. So when I'm asked all the time, do you think you're past it? It's a hard question to answer because you don't want to say, yeah, I'm past it, but because you're never really you never really beat it. You're always working to stay a few steps ahead of it. And over the years, I mean, you can get a lot of steps ahead of it. I mean, I feel like I'm miles ahead of it. But that doesn't mean that I can't have a tragedy happen to me, something major that would, knock those miles down, cut my legs off, and next thing you know, those miles are, it's hard to explain. It's a really terrible analogy. um, but the bottom line is that you can never feel like you're above it. You can never feel in your heart that you have it beat. And there'll be people that will argue this with me that I'll never use again. I know for a fact I'll never use again. And I feel like I will never use again because I work this. But you can never say never because you don't know what the future holds. You don't know what's going to happen down the road. So it's so important to work on your recovery and stay vigilant. Okay? And I can say this because I do it. I mean, 7 years, I've worked on my recovery every single day. That is something that I'm proud of. It's something that has given me an extraordinary life, met extraordinary people, and I wouldn't change anything for the life I have right now. Nothing. I mean, there's mistakes I've made down the road, but the life that I've made, I'm very happy with. I mean, to have multiple felonies, to, live the life that I lived, I've built a very nice life for myself and my family. Because I truly believe that if you give yourself and expect nothing in return from people, good things happen to you. I mean, opportunities just fall into your lap. I had an opportunity yesterday where a show on NBC, a producer called me and asked me, I'm not going to say what show, but a show on NBC wants to do a segment on me. Sure. I mean, I like the show. It's awesome. Whatever I can do, however I can push and fight the agenda that's out there and fight against the opiate epidemic, I'll do it. All right? And if it ever becomes a point where, it doesn't feel like I'm doing the right thing or I don't feel like I'm helping people anymore, I'll stop doing it. I had an issue a couple weeks ago with Free From Hell where, and that's how I started everything. That's how I started being able to converse with people and reach more people was through Free From Hell. And there were some people telling me that the site was starting to go downhill. And I told one of the admins, I said, if it's not helping people, I'll shut it down right now. And I don't think people realize that I don't care about having a title of like founder of Free From Hell. I don't care. Because if Free From Hell is not helping people, what's the point? You know what I mean? Obviously, I went in there, spoke to some admin, and cleaned up the problems that were there, and now it's back to normal and things are good. But if it was to a point where it wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing, I'll shut it down. Just like that. Because the whole point of everything, the whole point of, I believe, me being here on this planet is to help people find themselves again or find a new way of living away from the life that they were trapped in. Okay? So once again, I went on a tangent, completely off the right field, but it's very important for everyone, the longer you have in recovery, to remember where you came from, remember the big picture, and to always help out the new person. That's why I got tons of videos on YouTube, and I have people constantly putting me on a pedestal. And it's funny because I'll read comments, and they're the nicest comments in the world to read these things. And I just want to be like, you say very nice things about me, but I am also a complete dork, and I screw things up constantly. Like, I'm good at what I do with the videos, but the majority of my life's a complete mess. I mean, you should ask my wife. I mean, she reads some of the stuff and she's like, she just laughs and shakes her head because, you know, it's just funny. It's funny. So, yeah, if you want to write in and share your story, you can email me at ryan@comsupport.com. In the subject line, put YouTube story, my story. Let me know if you want to use your first or last name or stay anonymous. Keep yourself grounded. Work your program, whatever it is. Keep watching the videos. Make your own channel. And that's another thing I love. I love seeing new channels pop up. Because then I have the ability, because I have a pretty good following. I mean, it's not giant, but a pretty good following, where I can, tell people about somebody else's channel. And when new people come on YouTube, as I say this all the time, the more people on YouTube, the better. The more people putting out good stuff about recovery, the better. And the more people from different walks of life, the better, because not everyone's going to relate to each other. So I love seeing new channels come up, and I love talking about them, and I want more and more people to come on. So, like Nick M started his channel. I've been watching him every day. There was a girl that just started a channel, and I'm going to start watching her. She just commented the other day, so I'm going to check her out, and I'll promote her channel. I think we should all promote each other and talk about what each channel has to offer, because, I mean, like C Squared, he's funny as hell. He's got great content, and he's a lot lighter than me. I think I'm a little bit more stern, and that's why I like his channel, because I'm so serious all the time, and I'm not very funny. I will admit that. So I just love seeing channels pop up and more people. But the most important thing, if you start a channel, is stay consistent. Okay? It's hard to stay consistent. I get it. Some days you just don't want to make a video. But for the most part, it's very rare for me to miss a day. If I do, something's come up. And it happens from time to time. I got 2 kids and a wife. I have a dog that just had knee surgery. It's a whole nother ballgame. I don't even know if I told you guys about that. So, like, life happens, so it's hard to make a video every day. But if you consistently try to make a video at least 5 days a week, you'll gain a following. People will start watching. People will relate to you. And it'll make your recovery stronger. Okay? So you're giving back, but at the same time, you're making your own recovery stronger. Which, it's a win-win for everyone. All right? Stay humble, stay grounded, and remember where you came from. And that's about it. All right, so check out some more videos, leave some comments, check out the other channels on YouTube, and if you're thinking about making a channel, do it. Highly recommend it. All right? See you guys tomorrow.